Aquarius, let's talk about love. So this is your general love reading for that sort of crossover period from October to November, so like those 45-60 days. Please remember it's general, so please take it if it resonates with me, Adrian Nelson, your psychic tarot reader. We are going to look at your current situation, your influences at the moment, what has brought you there, and then also where that is taking you going forward. And then we're going to clarify using the OSHO Zen Tarot and finish off with a message from the universe. I'm definitely going to appreciate it if you watch this video from beginning to end because it definitely helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's get into it, Aqua babies. So, for your current space at the moment, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, the Judgment energy, and the Queen of Pentacles. So this is quite I must tell you, Aquarius, this is quite an interesting sort of start of point when we come to love, because there's very much a sense, if you just look at the Seven of Pentacles and the Judgment energy first, it's really a space of, I feel, other areas of your life getting into balance. So maybe, career, and if you've been struggling with self-confidence and like body issues and all those type of things, I can see all of those things actually beginning to work for you. And because those things are beginning to work for you, that is actually what's bringing you to a space where you are now sort of like, I would say almost like break the seals on almost like all the prohibitions that you had when it came to love, because it almost feels like for some of you, you said, you know what, I would love this, it sounds so nice, it's so cool, it's so cute, it's so beautiful, but I don't really have time for this right now. I need to focus on me, I need to focus on, sort of like building up my own life and my own sense of security and securing my future and those type of things. And now that you've done all of that, and even though we're speaking about love in this reading, it's coming up that there's a lot of personal sort of flourishment that's coming up for you. I don't really know if that is a word, flourishing, flourishment, whatever, you know. But if you have been working really, really hard in your capacity as an entrepreneur or your career or all those type of things, all those boxes that we need to tick as souls having human being experience, those things are looking very prosperous for you. And because of that, now is actually the time for you to open yourself to the idea of brand new love. And there's a very, very, very strong chance here of an ex-person coming back, somebody that you thought, listen, it is so done between you and that person that they're not even crossing your mind anymore. They might be coming back, and they might be very beneficial for your actual career, business, personal sense of security, all those things that are personal to you. Now, let's see what are the influences in that. This is the most fascinating reading that I've done so far for all the zodiac energies. I must tell you, it's so interesting. And even with the Judgment energy there in your current space is that Pluto energy, which is the bigger cycles of life. It's the bigger things of life, Let's see. So it's time to dust off those cobwebs, because things are about to happen. All right, that's quite interesting. So it seems like you and the person that you are dealing with, you really developed and came into your own in your sort of like, I would almost say, individual capacities, and again, there may have been no contact. So this might be, I don't want to call it a ton of bricks because it's got such a negative connotation to it, but it's very unexpected, but it's a good unexpected. Like it's like when it's a really hot, humid sort of day and you get this amazing sort of, summer rain that comes through. It's just refreshing and it's beautiful and it's amazing. So for your influential energy there, the past influential energy, you got the King of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So I do see that maybe for some of you, the reason why things may not have worked out between yourself and another person, it could have had to do with finances. It could have had to do with you not being sort of like in the same stance of life. But I feel that there's a lot of personal development that you needed to do within yourself. And the person that you dealt with, there's also a lot of personal development that they needed to do. And it seems like that beautiful sort of growth that works optimally when you do it individually. So it's almost like, space that's necessary. Look at the card at the bottom there, that's your card, the star, Aquarius energy. So really coming into your shine, really coming into your moment. And then I can see that again, you started to do your own thing and they probably started to do their own thing. And you might now you know, quite interestingly start to do your things sort of like together, you know. So maybe like a joint business venture or something like that, you know. Or it doesn't have to be that specifically. It could even be that you are just good for each other's morale when it comes to doing your things. Because I mean, as an entrepreneur myself, I'll tell you something for nothing. You are not inspired every single day, you know. Sometimes you just got to do it. In the same way, you'll do it in a different, you know, if you're in a different sort of job. Um, how would you want it? Okay. All right. So let's just see where this is taking you going forward. Ah, very good potential. Very good potential. You've got the Empress, which is all about abundance. You've got the Justice energy, that Libra energy, which is all about balance once again. And then you also have the Three of Pentacles. All right. So this is a space where, first of all, there's great things coming. You know. So whoever is coming back into your life, because I see somebody coming back. Whoever's coming back, they, it's a good thing. You know, it's a very good thing. Um, it brings a lot of balance for both of you, and it's a new start. I do see there's a little bit of or maybe quite a bit of courage that is required with it. I do feel for some of you, now this may not be for all of you, there is a itching on my right wrist, and then also on like the side of my hand for some reason. And if you got that, maybe there's a message for you, maybe you see that on television or whatever. um, but for some of you, I do see a sense here that maybe, you know, maybe you were involved with someone, and maybe that person was somehow involved with someone else, you know, and for some reason or the other, you and this person couldn't be together. And from a moral standpoint, you couldn't be together. Moral in a sense of, you know, how the world operates, but also being moral and ethical towards yourself, you know. Um, Now, it might be that whoever this other person was, I suppose you can call it a third party, but you know, third parties normally, you know, people make it negative. It's not that in that case. But that person may have come into a position where they are no longer opposing this connection, even though I feel that their presence was necessary. Um, I mean, absence definitely makes the heart grow fonder. Not necessarily stronger, but fonder, you know. um, it definitely makes it grow courageous as well. And there is a space that maybe that person has passed. There's that possibility. But we're going to clarify using Osho Zen Tarot. I love Osho Zen Tarot because it always looks at what is the outcome that is serving everybody best. It's in the best interest of everybody. And I like that life approach. And if you're into that, you might want to check out my new course that I just launched for Osho Zen Tarot as well. There's a link in the description. Let's see what is that clarification for that recent past. Understanding. And when you really look at this card, it's about this bird sort of getting out of this gilded sort of cage, you know, where I feel that for some of you, you may have even had this conversation of like, you know, I don't really need love. It's not the kind of thing that I need to be happy, to feel fulfilled. And whilst that may not be a lie entirely, I feel that for some of you, you know, you did sort of like fool yourself into that a little bit, but maybe that was necessary. But you're seeing other options now when and it almost feels like you got into a space where you may have been repelling love before, you know, keeping it at a distance. You're now at a space where you're realizing that, well, you know, this might actually be very beneficial for me. It might be good for me. You know, it's a sort of thing. It's almost like the next natural step, you know. I like that very much. Alrighty, so let's see what's happening in your current space, because there's a lot of sort of barriers in the mind that were there before, but I can see that you started to flow with your emotions more, which is really, really great, because it's almost a sense of letting your heart guide you, but that's only once you are sort of healthy in the mind. So the mind doesn't lead you astray, it leads you to the light, you know, that sort of thing. In your current space, guilt. You know, be mindful of feeling guilty. I was wondering if this was going to come up in your reading. Be mindful of feeling guilty, especially if you're dealing with something where maybe somebody has passed, maybe for whatever reason somebody's being institutionalized. I don't feel that it's your fault, you know, and I feel that for many of you, you're kind of like taking on that blame. And a lot of times when we take on that guilt and sort of blame, it's actually a way of withholding from ourselves what we want. It's a way of self-sabotage. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Maybe speak to somebody that you really, trust, who's got your best interest at heart if you're having those sort of feelings. Could also be maybe having difficulty moving away because, as I said, X very unexpectedly popping up, which can obviously bring all sorts of emotions. You may think that you're done with this person and realize that you're not so done, or you may be shocked at how done you are. You may have thought, well, if this person ever comes back, maybe my legs will go all jelly again, and now your legs are quite solid. It's like making jelly with way too much gelatin in it. It's very solid. You're no longer jelly. You're kind of you're like a gummy bear, basically. Okay, like a jelly baby. Anyway, going forward, experiencing. Really allow yourself to feel love. Allow yourself to feel emotions. Allow yourself to feel whatever really comes up. A lot of times when I say to people, allow yourself to feel emotions, they would say, well, Adrian, but I'm not feeling happy. And I said, well, I didn't say allow yourself to feel happy. I said allow yourself to feel emotions. Because once you understand sort of like the intricacies of all your emotions, then you get a clearer view, especially when you don't try to judge it and compartmentalize it and those type of things. Okay, let's see what the universe has got for you, beautiful Aquarius. And if that is helpful, I'd really appreciate you liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Oops. Okay, so all right, cards are all over the place. These cards just came out, 3 of them. Who are they? Cups, cups, cups. So emotions, 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 and how they relate to other people. 3 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups. So we're coming together. There's a possibility of a very unexpected, high level commitment, but very unexpected marriage here for you. And some of you would be like, well, nah, not for me. Well, let's see what happens, and I feel that what really drives you very strongly to this connection is not because you kind of find that, finally somebody is perfect, but it's more that realization that same as you, everybody's just a work in progress. And then it's almost a sense of like, well, how about we grow together? And I really, really like that. So you want to give this a chance because I see very good prospects for this. All right. So that's what I got for you, Aquarius. I hope that helps. Thank you for your time, your energy, love, and light. Namaste. I'll see you next time. Bye.